Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of This Old Knit. I am Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, and you can also find my blog at thisoldknit.blogspot.com. I'm trying a new location today, so it's kind of a different time of day, and Joshua is actually awake, and Megwin is watching a show in the other room, so we may or may not hear them, and he might come crawling in here at some point. So yeah, episode 4. So I was going to jump right into finished objects because I have one and he's super cute. I talked about him last time, but here he is. Isn't he so sweet? Megwin named him Very. I apologize, I'm using a Windows Movie Maker instead of my normal laptop camera control, and it seems to be doing better with the lighting, but it reverses everything for me. So when I move one way, it's actually moving the opposite way, so it's a little disconcerting. So anyway, here's his adorable little tail and his giant feet. And he is knit in Gnome Acres Sparkle Gnome in the Little Bunny Fufu colorway, and the tail is in mini skein of Milk from the Milk and Cookies mini skein set that Amanda did for Christmas time. And I actually stuffed his body with some of the, what are they called? They're like the little plastic beads that you can use for dolls to give him a little bit of weight, so he actually will sit down. Otherwise his feet were so heavy that he just tipped right over. And his eyes I got from 6060 Eyes on Etsy, and these are hand painted eyes, so I think these are hand painted the hot pink color, but it came in a pack of 5 and I think they were like $5 and something, so extremely reasonable and really good quality. So I recommend that shop if you're in the market for toy eyes. She had a lot of different kinds, and she also has some that have these really cute little speckles inside of them as well. I think they're called like Magic in Your Eyes or something, and they were super cute, so I would use them if I had the right toy for that. So I'm in my dining room today, which is this lovely mustardy yellow color. My husband and I both really like the autumnal palette, so we were happy that when we moved in, the house was already painted, and it was painted in these colors. And you can see, I'll actually tilt the camera a little bit so you can see it. But we had this picture by Gustav Klimt called The Kiss. And Klimt is actually one of my favorite artists. And our house is kind of the color palette of that picture. You can't see it very well because there's a lot of glare, but go and look it up. I'll link to it in the show notes, but it's a beautiful painting, and I just have a print, but that was the first gift that Josh actually bought for me. So that's the only thing I finished this week. I restarted my socks. So let me get those out next. Sorry, I had everything all set up, and then we had to go and run errands, so I had to move everything because I took my stuff with me so I could work on it in the car. Let me get those out of the way. Get a little more set up here. So I was originally, if you remember, using Spark Story for the zigzagular socks, and it was too thin, so they were coming out like really airy, and that is absolutely not what you want with socks because they're going to wear out in a hot minute. So I restarted it with Patons Kroy stripes, and this colorway is called Meadow Stripes. It was kind of a newer one for this spring, so it goes from kind of a darker grass green to like a turquoise blue to a lighter kind of cyan color to pink to rose, and then to a limey green, and then back to that grass green color. So that's the full stripe sequence right there. And I just got these stitch markers They're so, so cute. They're little T-Rexes. And Megwin is nuts about these things. They came from such Gwenderful Stuff. She makes a lot of really cute markers, small, just basic ring markers, and then she has several of these removable markers too, and they come in great little tins. The tin that I have actually has a little T-Rex on it, like a little, I don't know if it's a sticker or what that she put on there, but it's very sweet. So anyway, I've got a little bit of progress on them. You can see the little bit of the zigzaggy thing there. It doesn't show up super well, but it makes them more interesting to knit than just a vanilla sock, which is nice. And I'm using the 64 stitch size on size 2.5, no, that's wrong, 2.75 millimeter circs. These are my Addi sock brackets. My favorites. And then I didn't do a ton on my blanket. We actually went bowling yesterday. My larger team at work went bowling, and I had this with me, which was good because bowling tends to have a lot of downtime between when bowlers go, and this one I don't need to have the pattern anymore, so it was good to just knit a bit on. And of course everybody's like, ooh, what are you knitting? Oh, a blanket, can I feel it? So I think I maybe finished one more strip around since last time I showed it to you. I should start putting a marker on here so that I can tell you exactly how much I've knit from the last time. But I'm almost done with the knitted piece that I had before, so I'm down to not too much. 2 of the white stripes, which is kind of how I'm gauging how big it is, but almost done with old yarn, and I'll be using the new yarn soon, which is nice. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but this is in my Yarn Pop bag. It has 3 holes in it. I don't use those. And a really sturdy strap. So I actually use it when I'm at work. When I go down to the mother's room, I carry my laptop in here and my projects, and it can hold all of that, and it doesn't affect the straps at all. So it's a very well made bag. I recommend it. And then something I've never shown before on the podcast, but I've mentioned that I'm working on a Hexapuff blanket. So I thought I would show you my Beekeeper's Quilt Hexapuffs that I've got so far. Here's maybe half of them. I just keep them in Ziploc bags. So what I do is I knit a whole bunch of them, and then I wash them and lay them out to dry. And I think Molly mentioned on a Homespun House, her last episode, that she was having issues with her Cozy Memories blanket, that she washed it a couple of times because of spills. Hang on, I'm making sure everything's okay. And that she had colors run. And I was going to mention, there's a weird little fuzz in there. Okay. Is it okay? Okay. I was going to mention that I actually wash these in kind of sections. That's one of the things that I like about this blanket, is that they're each little separate pieces. So I wash them with like colors to get that first dye out of it, because if you do reds or dark blues, are also really bad about running, and then they don't kind of get the other ones messed up. But I think you could also use a color catcher, a Shout color catcher in your water, and that's supposed to help as well with getting the dye and not letting it go onto other parts. So anyway, I think I have maybe 150 of these knit so far. I started it in 2012, but it's kind of my off and on project, so I'll get a fire under me to knit a whole bunch of Hexapuffs, and then I won't knit any for months and months. So I knit quite a few when I was on maternity leave, And then I knit a bunch when my mom was in the hospital for surgery, and I knit some when I was in the hospital with my aunt. So they tend to be my go-to when, I guess, when I'm stressed or when I need something to grab and go and I don't know what I want to knit next. So I usually keep this little bag, which was made for me by Mel, who's Woman in a Shoe on Ravelry. I keep it full of different little mini skeins, so you can see there's quite a few in there. And then I have my needles. I'm using size 4 needles for all of my Hexipuffs. So I have lots of different minis in there. I've got some from Melinda, who has the Yarnder Woman podcast. I've got some No Makers ones from mini skein bundles that I've bought. And of course leftovers from socks. But I love, just as other people do, getting mini skeins from other people who are friends. A couple of people have actually knit Hexipuffs for my blanket and sent them to me, so I have all of those, and they'll get added into my blanket eventually as well. I want to make it king size to fit our bed, because we have a king size bed. And somewhere on the internet I found a calculator, and I think it was used for English paper piecing, but it told you how many hexagons of a different size that you would need to make a blanket of the given size you wanted. And so I typed in how big my diameter was on my hexagons and calculated to fit a king size bed, and it's a lot. I think it's something like 16 or 1700. So I have a long way to go. And my husband teases me that maybe, like, when we retire, we'll have a nice sock yarn blanket to cuddle up under. But whatever. It's a good way to use up scraps, right? And then here's what I've done so far on my Once Upon a Time. I actually have an active needle going there. I started the Brementown square. This doesn't look anything, whoa, that doesn't look anything like a donkey, but it will be a donkey. And there's some notes. Whoa, I gotta get used to this. Okay, there's some notes in a house. And this thing is the chicken's, like, crest. What's that called? I think it's crest. So I'm making progress, getting there. And I actually do have notes today. So yeah, aside from getting those stitch markers, the T-Rex stitch markers that I mentioned, and also with the eyes, I also got another Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery pattern. So this one was a special pattern that they just released for Stitches Midwest, I'm sorry. And of course I didn't go to Stitches Midwest because I have small children and they just don't allow me to travel at this point. Eventually I'd like to go with, maybe with my mom. I'm sure she would be happy to go with me. But probably when the kids are a little bit older, because that would be a longer road trip, and it's over, I think, somewhere outside of Chicago. So this is what it is. Let's see if we can get it without the glare. And so it's a cute little alphabet sampler, but you can see it has all the different fiber animals. Isn't it so sweet? It's got a Kiviot and a sheepy in the middle. There's some cotton, flower, cotton blossoms, a little Angora bunny, an alpaca down here. There's socks on sock blockers. There's two little friends knitting, and a spinning wheel. So cute. So I love it. And they stitched it on a pink fabric. Oops. Whoa. They stitched it on a pink fabric but they haven't had it in stock. I bought it from the Cottage Needle, and they make really great kits up of different patterns. So they made this kit together for me. The floss that they used is this, it's DMC, but they said something about it being French moulin or something. I don't know, fancy schmancy. They were all colors that you can't just go and get at the store, so like a big box craft store, which is typically where I'd get my DMC floss. These colors wouldn't be there. It's a very pretty palette. There's like a dark royal purple, lavender, blues, teals. Poor little guy. So very pretty. And they're always very nice. They include some little extra in their packages, which is very nice. So this time they gave me a needle threader, which you can't really see very well there, but sometimes they've given me needles, cross stitch needles, bowhing I think is what they are, cross stitch needles. They've given me needle threaders, small pieces of fabric. So the last time I ordered a kit, I actually got a small piece of fabric that then was a special release of a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, like little postage stamp for Valentine's Day. So when I bought that, I already had the little fabric for it. So I haven't stitched it up, but that one's really cute. So that's that. And then I participated in the Favorite Things swap on a Homespun House forums. And I was paired up with A. Speckles, whose name is Anna. And she sent me a really, really cool package. So I wanted to share with you. She's in Germany. So she sent me some truffles, which have obviously been opened. And we've all been enjoying those. They're kind of a cherry brandy truffle. They're very yummy. And then she also sent me some mini skeins. And it was all packaged really cute. And of course Spunky is now barking. He's barking to get into the bed with our other dog, Cordova, who terrorizes him. She is in charge. He is the bottom of the totem pole, and he knows it. So he'll keep barking until she snaps at him, and then he'll back up onto the bed and look back at her a little bit, and back up some more and look back at her. It's really funny. It's a hilarious ritual. And eventually he'll get into the bed, she'll growl at him, and then they'll cuddle. It's weird. So anyway, here's one. It's kind of a white with a brown tweedy effect. And then a green. And like a rainbow. It's sort of a maroon with some salmon color, a little bit of pink, some blue. And this one is another tweed-ish. It's more of a marled yarn. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say tweed. It's like gray and navy and white. This one is definitely a tweed. This is like a natural tweed.
What are you doing?
I'm doing my episode, sweetie.
But Mom, I really want to play with that Lego building.
Okay, you can play with the Lego building. Very quietly, please. She's scooting out the chair. And then this one looks like maybe it's stripes, but it's got kind of a maroon and teal, and then a lighter blue and a pink. So, all very pretty. And they will go into my blanket. So they should make fun little hexapuffs. And then she actually made me a pot holder or a like a mug rug, that kind of thing. It looks almost like she reused some fabric from different things. I don't know if she did or not. It's really pretty. There's some it looks like linen, cotton, and she made this sweet little label for it. And then, last but not least, she sent me 2 skeins of Regia yarn. And this one is really pretty, and it's actually showing up pretty well. So it's kind of a lavender, sage green, olive, kind of darker purple, and gray blue. Okay, Megan, you're gonna have to not make weird sounds right next to the microphone. Okay, so that was all of that. It was very nice of her. Thank you so much, Anna. I love everything, and I will really enjoy getting to. Oh, I forgot. Can't forget that. The tea. It's in this. Came in this cute little bag. So I'm actually drinking the Genmai Cha, which is a green tea, and it's really good. It's very savory. It reminds me a lot of like what you would get if you go to a sushi restaurant and you ask for green tea. This is what it would taste like. And this is in my Spud and Chloe mug, which I got in the Rainbow Swap from Greg, who's Knitting Daddy. I've mentioned him a few times. And she gave me a ton of different types of tea to try, so I'm very excited about it. I apologize for all the crinkling. So there's a vanilla chai, a regular chai.
Mom, can you please put this on here?
Yep. Lemony one. 1 second. I have to put a Lego onto a scooter. More complicated than one would think. Do you want her sitting down or not? Standing up?
I'm sitting down,
Sitting down.
but just holding onto the handles,
Okay.
so then she can be safe.
Oh, maybe she can't sit down. Okay.
They can only stand up.
Yeah, I think she can only stand up. Dan
Here comes the hot
from
dog
Bakery
man.
Bears, help me.
The hot dog man is going up the stairs. It said the restaurant.
Oh, there we go. Okay. There she is. I'll show that in a little bit. Because you, Dan, it's your fault. It's your fault. Alright, there we go. Okay, where was I? Oh, lime, chamomile, and rosehip. Something in echinacea. Something else mysterious. I'll trust you that they're good. I don't speak German, so some hoji cha, Indisher chai, which I know that Molly has mentioned that it's really good, so I'm excited to try that one. Something called phage, like beige, and an organic black vanilla tea, which sounds delightful. So that was all the different stuff. I sent my package to her basically at the same time, and she still hasn't got it yet. There's something weird about the German postal system, I swear, because I sent something to Australia the same day, and I sent something to Finland like 3 days later, and both of those packages are already there and have been there for multiple days at this point. So I don't know. I used to think it was something I was doing wrong about sending packages to Germany, but now I'm pretty sure it's on the other end. So there's that. And then I wanted to mention the Knitting in Circles podcast and thank Amy and Darren for their advice on butter. I know that sounds random, but today Megwin and I were baking some cherry vanilla scones, and I brought my recipe card. It's a well-loved recipe card, but if you're interested, I'll post the recipe for you. They're very, very good.
That boy is painting something.
Cool.
Look, it's the hot dog man.
Okay, so, where was I? Oh, yeah. So they had said that they read a tip about putting your butter in the freezer for a couple of minutes and then using a cheese grater to grate it into the dough instead of sitting there and cutting it in and using a pastry blender with your hand. Thank you so much. That saved me a ton of time, probably at least 15 minutes of prep time, and my poor hand as well. So I did pastry blend it in after I finished grating it, but it was in much smaller pieces than I ever could have got by like cutting it in with a knife, which is what I usually do, and then you get it all over your hands and it's all mushed, and it was just so much better. So thank you, Amy and Darren, for that advice. It helped me so much with my cooking.
Look, Mom, there's a mousey.
Oh yeah, cool,
Look.
sweetie.
He's getting into the garbage.
And so then I wanted to share
Let me
this
close
week,
this up.
I wanted to actually share a book about sewing that I had received for my birthday from my in-laws, but I don't know where it is. So I'll share it next time. But another one that I got was this one. It's called Pretty Patchwork Gifts by Helen Phillips. And there are really, really super cute projects in here. I want to make like everything. But some of them that I really, really like are this one. And Molly, this made me think of you. This looks like something you would put in your house based on what you've told us. Like a little bird house. There's a flower and a little stuffed house at the top.
Oopsie.
It's okay. I'll help you fix it in a little bit, sweetie.
I can fix it myself.
Okay.
I just wanted the windows up.
And then there's a little wall hanging that's very cute. Oh, this one. So it's applique and just different flowers, and then they use these cute little bird buttons on there. It's super sweet. I would like to make that at some point for maybe Megan's room. Or maybe my craft room, whenever I finally get a craft room. I don't know. And then little mushrooms. Those are super cute as well. So I just like that it had a lot of fun little ideas. And it's just very pretty stuff. And all patchwork stuff. Ha! That was the other one I liked. There's like stuffed Christmas trees, which I think will be very fun for at Christmas time, and for using some extra buttons. So that's that.
Okay, that wasn't a very good piece.
You okay, sweetie?
There.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna move some stuff down here really quickly, and then I'm gonna show you the big.
Oh my God!
So one of the things that vary if you want. One of the things that people have talked about a lot is like fiber storage. So I do spin. I don't spin a ton because I have to pick my crafting time. I have to pick between spinning or knitting. Knitting almost always wins. But if I don't have a lot of time to sit down and knit something, I might pick up something and spin. Or if it seems like Joshua is happier if I'm not sitting at my chair or whatever. Sometimes he likes it if I'm up and moving around, and he enjoys looking at the spindle. So I try to spin something when he's in that kind of a mood. So I bought this really cool thing at World Market last Christmas. And it's this. Whoa, it's huge.
Let me see it. Whoa!
It's pretty giant, like
Can I
bell
say
jar.
Can I say something in the knitting video?
You can say something in a second. Let me finish showing them this, okay?
Okay.
Excuse me. I need to put that lid down. So Joshua crawls over to this all the time and tries to rip the lid off and break it. But inside of it, I have a couple different fibers right now. This keeps them from getting compressed, which is nice, and it also keeps stuff out. So I have this is a little bit of what I have left of a Shetland first clip. And I spun most of this, I think it was 6 or 8 ounce bump of fiber. So probably about half of it left at this point. And there's Magwin.
I found you!
She wanted to say something.
Mommy and I made this bunny in a long time ago.
That's right.
And it's, I want to say myself.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Is it Very?
And the bunny's name is Very, and he's very rainbowy, and he's kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it.
Yeah. And you've been taking him to bed, right?
And he has floppy ears and a big head and pink eyes and a rainbow body, rainbow arms, and big feet and long legs.
Mm-hmm.
And plus he can hop, 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 hop.
Yep.
He's very interesting.
He is very interesting.
Plus he has a little bunny tail.
Mm-hmm. I should have had you
It's
to
cute.
show him off. And we're gonna make a mommy, right?
Yeah, but can I tell him one more thing?
Okay, you can tell him one more thing. Okay, you're gonna show him the cow.
And I also have
Diplo
a
cow. Hold
and
it
I-
this way. Yep. Yep. Towards me. Towards my body. Yep. There you go. Now you
And-
can see it.
I have a cow toy
Mhm.
Lego, and it's kind of fun to play with it, but it's
Mhm.
a mother cow,
Yeah.
so actually it kind of does eat all sort of plants by itself. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to say one more thing, and mommy
Yep.
he also has a lot of different knitting colors, like pink and purple and also rainbow and lots of other things.
I do have a lot of knitting stuff.
And that's the end of what I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you, Megwin. That was a very good segment. All right, I'm gonna finish sharing now.
Can we make this the end of the video?
Nope, I'm not done sharing. You can go ahead and play with the Lego thing. Okay?
Don't you want to play with me?
I will. I will soon. So these little guys I got at the Fiber Festival that I've mentioned, Wool Gathering, and they're popcorn poonies. They're a Lincoln Long Wool and Tussa Silk blend. And they're just kind of fun to play around with. They are in quite a few colors, so I just grab one and pre-draft it a little bit and then spin it. So those have been quite a lot of fun. And then the one other thing I have in here, if I can get it out, this is a BFL fiber. It's a brown, a natural brown color. And I was having some trouble with spinning this on my drop spindle that I had. It's quite heavy. Both of mine are pretty heavy. So I got at the last Fiber Festival this guy, which is a Turkish spindle from Turtle Made. And Megwin has one as well that's pink. But it comes apart, as you can see. So you can change the colors up if you want. And it goes inside here. And I was trying to spin on it, and I think I was doing it wrong. Like, I was spinning and I was actually turning it from the bottom, which became really awkward for me as the drafted fibers got longer, and it's actually bent. That's interesting. Okay. So as the drafted fibers got longer, it became more and more difficult for me to spin it, and I realized I could just spin it from the top. So I don't know why I wasn't doing that. This isn't making sense to me. I'm going to try to do that next time. So that's kind of my spinning stuff for right now. I do have a couple of merino braids, but I think the spindles that I have right now are too heavy for that because I keep having issues with it drifting apart, and from what I've read, that's what happens if your spindle is too heavy because it's not getting twisted into the fiber quickly enough because it's a shorter staple. And the only things I've ever drop spindle spun are I've done the Shetland, I've done Lincoln Long Wool, I've done PFL, and then I've done CVM, which I think is California Vegetated Mutant. All of those are kind of longer staple wools. So I just started trying merino with, I think I have a shocked spindle, and it's too heavy. So I need to get a new one, and I'm in the market if anybody has suggestions. Oops, let me put that in there. If anybody has suggestions for what weight spindle that I should use for merino, or a type of spindle that you would recommend, I would love to hear your suggestions. I'm kind of thinking maybe a trindle, because I like that you can switch out the arms to make it be different weights. So that seems like it would be pretty versatile to buy one that could work at many different weights. But I don't know. So feel free to leave comments in the show notes and let me know what you think. Poor little Joshua, he's ready for a nap. And so then something that I haven't shared before, it's an FO that I've had for a while, but I've never shared it on the podcast, is my Ishbel. So there it is. And I didn't knit it to go with this, but it actually perfectly matches the sweater I have on right now. I knit it in Crafts Meow Ice Cream Sundae base, and it is in the seaweed colorway. It's a really pretty kind of dark mint green, and I really like it. And Joshua actually really likes this shawl. Whenever it's out, he grabs it and crawls off with it. So it's probably going to end up being a shorter podcast this week. But the last thing that I wanted to share, I have two things. Okay, so one of them is, this is a book that I got for Christmas that I highly recommend if you're interested in any sort of, like, it's not really self-sufficient, but just reusing stuff, using leftovers, learning how to do different things. This book is really great. It's kind of an inspirational book, if you will. So it goes from everything from growing vegetables to making your own paper to kind of different recipes. It tells you how to make ice milk using pressed flowers and food and decoration. How to make vinegar, pickling. There's some stuff in here about meat, which we don't really eat meat. Preserving with alcohol. Ways to use food waste, which I thought was really cool. So it talked about, like, if you have extra coffee, for example, making ice cubes out of the coffee, so that then in the summertime, if you want to have iced coffee, you can put those ice cubes in there and it doesn't water down your coffee. Or if your coffee's really hot, like my husband drinks only black coffee, and sometimes it's very hot for him to drink, so that'd be a good way for him to quickly cool his coffee down. And then I dropped the other thing, so give me 1 second here. Okay. I wanted to share my husband's sewing. So he's super proud of this, and it's going to be hard for you to see, but he made kind of some D-ring straps for his bushcrafting kit, and you can see he made a box axe, and he did such a lovely job. It's really great. So he made, I think, 4 of those, and they kind of go around his gear and cinch it down. And then let me see if I can pull this over here. Egwin, can I show them the Lego thing? Okay.
What Lego thing?
This Lego thing, the house.
But I'm not playing with it.
Oh, I just want to show them. And then you can play with it.
Girl,
So this, I blame on Dan from Bakery Bears podcast, because he got me interested in the Lego kits, and Amanda too from No Makers. She does a lot of Lego stuff. So this is the French Bistro. Chez Albert's. And it is super cool. Like there's a kitchen downstairs and a dining area, and then there's living quarters up here, and then this part up here opens up. If I can get it to do it. Oh my goodness, there we go. And it's all messed up right now. There's a, you can see inside there's like a little artist studio. Whoa. There's a little palette and a little canvas, and it's just so fun. I didn't really have Legos growing up, so now I'm living vicariously through my children. And on the back it has a little dumpster. Oops, let me see if I can turn it. A little dumpster there. Oop. And it actually came with trash to put in the dumpster, like, oops, there you go, sweetie.
Hey, it's on a croissant.
Oh, oops, let's get that croissant out of there. Good job, there you go.
I want to do
Okay,
the messy
you turn it
part.
how you want. Okay. Yeah. So, it's really cool. We enjoy it. And I think we might get the movie theater too. It goes with that set. They're the Creator Lego sets. But it was one that Megwin and my husband put it together, pretty much all of it, when I was sick. So it was a nice thing for them to do together, and they got to enjoy that stuff. Taking lip gloss from my daughter. So yeah, hopefully the next one I'll actually be able to do some of the building. Because I did want to build some of that one, but that's okay. I did get to help with some of the sorting and identifying the pieces, and getting those out for, I think, part of the second floor and then part of that top floor with my husband. So we've been getting some of the little mystery packs. They have them at like Target and some of the other stores, and you get a little package and it has a mystery figure in it, and it's one of a series, and you don't know what you're gonna get. So we got the little hot dog guy. Megan, can I have the hot dog guy?
Sure.
Oh, I just have a suit.
Here's
Okay, I think you just dropped something, honey. I heard something drop. Okay. So he comes with a little hot dog. Oh, he's so fun. And his hot dog comes off. And he's just a little dude. So we have another one, and we bought it the other day, and we haven't opened it yet. I'm really hoping to get the unicorn. But so far I haven't. I'm not very good at feeling the packages and knowing what's in there. You know, Amanda from the No Makers site and podcast said she's like an expert at feeling the package and figuring out what is inside each one, but I suck at that. So I don't know what we got, but oh well. I think it's something we don't have. I'm pretty confident that it did not feel like the hot dog guy, at least. So we won't get a duplicate, but I have no idea what it'll be. So I'll have to share that next time on the next podcast. And let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I noticed on the weather that it said New York City was going to get another 6 inches of snow, and I had just watched the Yarngasm podcast, and I thought, oh no, Kristen, I'm so sorry, because she seemed so excited about it finally being spring and getting some nice weather, and then it's going to dump snow on her again. So, Kristen, I'm sorry. It's been kind of sunny here, but cold. But today we had 61 degrees, so we'll probably go and do a little bit of stuff outside before it gets dark, and I will work on getting this video ready for upload. And I actually took some footage last weekend of kind of a walk through my yard and back to our creek, and then kind of showing our raised beds and stuff. So I'll put that at the end of the video, and if you're not interested, no big deal, and if you are, then you can hang out and see a little bit of our property. So thanks for watching, and until next week, I will see you guys later. Happy knitting. Bye. I'm coming. Hey everybody, I wanted to show you the backyard. So we've gone from the house just back that way. Now we've walked over. This is the tree that we had to cut down recently, so you can see it's huge. And we're just slowly burning it when we have campfires. So this is our fire pit area. And we saved some of the seats for, or some of the pieces for seats. And we have a picnic table that we found down by the creek. There's our clothesline waiting to be put up, and our swing set. So we're actually going to go back and check out the creek because it was super high yesterday, and see if it's come down a little bit. A wood pile from other trees we had to cut down, and this is actually a chestnut. So back in, I think, the 1920s, there was a huge chestnut blight. Okay, I have to help a balloon. Hang on, I'm coming. And our chestnuts actually survived. And I think there's an effort right now to start trying to reforest with chestnuts. So don't pull too hard or he'll pop. This is spiky. Okay, there we go. We freed the balloon, and we continue. Alright, so anyway, we try to collect chestnuts when we can to plant other places. Alright, Megan wants to go down into her shelter tree, which is this guy here. You can see it. It's actually hollow all the way down.
Will you please carry my T-Rex in
I'll
your
carry your
pocket?
T-Rex, sweetie. Alright, do you want to go down into your shelter tree? Do you want me to hold balloon?
I'll have to get really down.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll hold the string
Okay,
down.
you're going to hold a string down? Okay, you can go get in your shelter tree while I show the creek to people.
See, which way is my shelter tree?
It's right there, sweetie, in front of you.
Huh?
Right there.
Oh, here it is.
Oh yeah, the creek is really high.
I think we should take a short.
You can kind of see it flowing. This is my husband's path. It's extremely muddy right now. But he walks around just the perimeter of our property in the mornings for exercise for like 30 minutes. And since we have a pretty decent sized yard, it's actually quite a bit of exercise. And we are now at the creek. And you can see it's running really fast. It's usually just a small stream, but it's pretty big right now because all of our snow melted, and we've also had a ton of rain the last week or so. So today we are going to have a picnic outside and probably a fire, and we will enjoy ourselves. There we go, one more. I'll give you one more view. There you go. Alright. Here's Megan with her balloon. Hi, balloon! And her shelter tree. And you can see it's really hollowed out and it's pretty big. Yeah. And there's actually, it goes down into a little burrow. Probably even a raccoon or something lives in there. Big enough that it's not a snake hole.
Snakes can never dig holes that big.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to piece this all together later. So this is our garden. And I'm going to go see if there's any asparagus up yet. Here we have, that's our finishing composter. And then we built compost bins out of pallets. So we go from the first one, we kind of move it, we turn and move into the second and the third, and then we finish out in this guy. And that little pine tree kind of seeded itself when Megan was born. So you can see it's pretty decent size. It's about 7 feet tall now, I'd say. Ignore our shed, it's in really bad shape. And I can see there's winter rye coming up. We planted some cover crops. We're gonna look in here and see. These are last year's asparaguses. Asparagus, I don't know how you would call that. I do not see anything yet. Probably a little too early still. It should be in the next month or so. Oh, I lost the T-Rex. And we have some raised beds. And then those big ones we planted potatoes in a couple years ago, so that's the garden.